Speaker, sir, I welcome the question from the Honorable Tunambuna. The coalition government has made I believe, have made significant strides in developing Fiji's national carbon market strategy roadmap. And this is a copy. It was embraced by COP29. A lot of work had gone into that, and I'd like to also thank the Australian government for seconding an official from the Australian government to the Prime Minister's office to help out in climate change matters. Was with us for 1 year and gone back. In essence, Mr. Speaker, so the strategy roadmap has been developed to support the process required for Fiji to safely and effectively engage with international carbon markets. The roadmap provides information on Fiji's context, our objectives, and priorities, and provides the basis for developing the necessary regulatory environment to support interested parties to collaborate to support our efforts to reduce emissions and build resilience. As a small island developing state, Fiji faces unique challenges related to carbon change, or to climate change, such as the rising sea levels and climate change exacerbated natural disasters. Keeping global emissions below 1.5 degrees Celsius is critical for our future, and there are opportunities to attract investment to help us meet our emissions reduction targets in ways that support our local economy and our resilience. Honorable DPM, the ministerial statement this morning elaborated on such efforts to reduce our emissions and contribute to global warming. 55%, Mr. Speaker, sir, of our energy supply is currently from non-fossil fuel. 50% from hydropower and 5% from biomass and wind generators. We are well on our way to in our contributions to reducing carbon emissions. Fiji's national carbon market strategy, Mr. Speaker, sir, roadmap provides an initial framework to help the nation leverage international carbon markets in alignment with our ambitious climate goals. The roadmap offers pathways and options that can help a range of stakeholders to use carbon market instruments to scale resilience and unlock sustainable development opportunities. Mr. Speaker, so the National Carbon Market Strategy Roadmap outlines specific actions needed to ensure that carbon market engagement supports Fiji's nationally determined contribution, NDC, and advance high-integrity carbon projects that uphold environmental integrity and social safeguards. This roadmap is centered on Article 6 of the Paris Agreement. I assume everyone knows that. That focuses on the use of cooperative approaches between parties and stakeholders to address climate change through market and non-market approaches that enable Fiji to engage both market-based and non-market-based carbon mitigation mechanisms, emphasizing high-integrity practices, equitable benefit sharing, and sustainable development. This initiative, Mr. Speaker, sir, leverages international carbon markets to mobilize investments for decarbonization and resilience building projects while safeguarding the interests of local communities. The Speaker, so the roadmap identifies 5 pillars of actions which have been sequenced across short, medium, and long-term categories to facilitate a staged approach to the implementation of the Roadmap Action Plan in Fiji. They include Pillar 1, enhancing market readiness through strategic actions; Pillar 2, strengthening legal frameworks and governance structures; Pillar 3, safeguarding community benefits and landowner rights. And a lot of our landowners are coming up with their own suggestions in that area. Pillar 4, Mr. Speaker, sir, increasing public awareness, participation and ownership and capacity. And Pillar 5, developing effective partnerships and scaling finance. So the Fiji's vulnerability to climate change, compounded by limited resources and competing development priorities, underscores the importance of innovative financial solutions. The reality is that through carbon markets, we can attract additional financial flows in exchange for a partial share in the emissions reduction we facilitate with those investments. There is significant international interest to provide funding to Fiji in ways that support both our adaptation and resilience building objectives, as well as our effort to reduce emissions. This roadmap is important both for domestic stakeholders as well as for international parties interested to engage with us. An example, Mr. Speaker, sir, Fiji has signed an initial agreement with the government of Singapore, which in the future could enable companies in Singapore to invest in low-carbon technology in Fiji, whether it be transport infrastructure or renewable energy systems. This would help to offset the cost of these new types of technology in exchange for a share in emissions reduction outcomes. International actors are in a position to invest in countries like Fiji, where the cost of reducing emissions is potentially cheaper than it would be in their domestic setting. The benefit for us is that those investments can help give us access to infrastructure and technology that we would not otherwise have been able to afford. The roadmap, Mr. Speaker, sir, provides details of our priorities and actions which we will take to ensure these tools are brought about in an effective way. Mr. Speaker, sir, the roadmap was co-designed through an 18-month process that included multi-stakeholder engagement through workshops and webinars that involved representatives from 14 key government ministries, community groups, private sector participants, and international experts. This collaborative process has overall created awareness on carbon markets through the dissemination of information and generally facilitated ownership of the process and outcome. The roadmap is not a final strategy or policy, but a guide to help progress further efforts and consultations. The Speaker's technical support for this work was funded by the Australian government, as I've mentioned, and delivered through the Carbon Market Institute. The Speaker's the Carbon Market Strategy Roadmap that I've shown the Honourable House was endorsed in Cabinet in November 13 and was also launched at the margins of COP29 in Baku and Azerbaijan by the Honourable Attorney General, Mr. Graham Leung. The Government of Singapore and Conservation International have expressed interest in supporting Government of Fiji's implementation efforts. A range of bilateral and multilateral engagements are actively being pursued to ensure comprehensive support for project development and market engagement in response to the launch of this key document. Mr. Speaker, sir, to provide legal and institutional support for the implementation, the regulations under Part 10 of the Climate Change Act will be expedited to operationalize our ability to regulate and engage with the carbon market mechanisms. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister. Supplementary.